some amazing countries here on the list. So I have to really take a moment to welcome so many people onto this fantastic presentation. So hello, Babak, but let's go through some countries. I can see so many beautiful countries, starting with Estonia. Estonia is my home country. We got Malta, France, Norway, United Kingdom, Argentina, United States, lots of United States, lots of Estonia, lots of Norway. We got Ecuador in the house, Finland. Hello, people from Finland. That's our neighboring country in these Nordic countries. Estonia again, Norway, US. We have Orlando. We have Brandon, United States. We have Sweden in the house, and we got lots more. We got Ireland in the house. Good friends, Leo and Nat. Magnus, hello from Sweden, also there. We got Germany, Cape Town. Sharon, hello, good to see you here. Philippines, Germany, wow, I mean, this is amazing. It's an impressive list of countries, and there's Canada also in the house. I have to keep on scrolling, sorry, I have to see. I mean, it's fantastic always to see so many. We are so global. We got Dubai in the house, hello. So beautiful, beautiful people from so many different countries. Armenia, Turkey, Chile, we got India, we have also more South Africa in the house, and Russia, great big Russia. So nice to have all of you here today. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to be with us here tonight. We got something really special happening here tonight, because we have something obviously that is making our eyes sparkle, you know. For quite some time, maybe if you're here as a guest, your friend has been happy about something, right? All the rest of the world seems to be a little bit down, but your friend has been happy. And now you're about to find out why they have been so happy. And we got something very special lined up for you tonight. But first of all, I would like to take a little moment just to introduce myself. Because probably most of you have not met me before, unless you are from Estonia. But my name is Margit Maagusson, so I'm originally from Estonia, and that's where I was born and raised. I have to say I was living an ordinary life. I was just, raised by a single mom. I have a sister. We lived totally ordinary life, but boy, I had big dreams. I've always had big dreams. And I have to say that one of my dreams was always to become a pop star, you know, and when I was in Estonia, I actually managed to do that as one of my first dreams. I never thought it would come true, but you know, you got to be careful what you wish for. So I had really fun youth in Estonia, but after that, I decided like, hey, like this is teenage years, you know, being like Aqua Barbie girl styles pop singer, that's not for life, right? So I said, hey, I'm going to get serious and I'm going to actually go and move to UK. I'm going to go and study business and management. So I got all serious, totally turned the corner on my life. And I said, hey, I'm going to go to school, get good grades, get a good job, to a career, you know, how they say that's what you're supposed to do with your life, right? Get kids and all the rest of it. So that's what I did. And I have to say that it was great doing a career, you know, doing the long hours, making good money. But what happens normally is that, you know, I'm sure that you can relate to that. When you're making a good money in employment, you normally do long hours, especially in UK. I don't know, boy, they just like doing overtime, you know, all the time. And I have to say that it didn't bother me. At the time, I was like, hey, I can do this. I can absolutely do this. I can do a career and be a, you know, housewife at the same time. But when my twin daughters were born, you know, they are now 7 years old. I said to myself, listen, something has to change because I don't have time already as it is. But now I need to take care of these two precious souls and, you know, still go to work and all the rest of it. So that didn't fit into my life plan anymore. I said, there's gotta be a better way. And 5 years ago, I was totally blown away. I mean, my friend invited me to see like a coffee meeting and said, listen, there's something you got to see. And I said, yeah, cool, we'll sit down. And he showed a whole new world to me. And I was like, my gosh, I didn't know that opportunities like that existed for people like me. And one of my favorite people on earth is Richard Branson. And Richard Branson always says, say yes first and figure it out later how you're going to do it, right? And I was like that girl 5 years ago. So I said yes to an opportunity that forever changed my life, because the personal growth that came from me saying yes to that opportunity, the growth in terms of friendships, in terms of, awareness of what's happening in the world, the ability to travel, the ability to change my life from being an employee to actually working for myself and living in multiple countries at the same time, and teaching my kids about the history of the world, not from the books, but actually from the places where the history happened. And that's all come from that meeting. Now, today, your friend has invited you here because we have fantastic company called inCruises that's actually making waves all around the world. And today we are so blessed to have one very special speaker who's the CEO of the company called Michael Hutchison on the line with us. So, Michael, I'm actually going to welcome you now, and I'm going to just say hello, Michael. So happy to be here with you today. How are you?
I'm fantastic, Margit. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm so proud of you. What you have done is nothing short of magnificent. You are a role model for me and our team, and I'm just so impressed with you and the leaders that you've brought forth. And I'm incredibly grateful for you and say thank you to everybody on the call. Thank you for having me.
Michael, thank you so much. So, Michael, I am super excited. As you can see, the smile is like up to my ears. But Michael, I'm sure that, there are plenty of people who would just like to know a little bit more about who Michael is. So please tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from. What did you do before you created inCruises?
Sure. Well, your story, resonated with me. No different than you and the others on the call. I didn't grow up with any, special privileges or advantages. Certainly no silver spoon in my mouth. I'm a, son of two loving parents. My parents were my original role models. I have three brothers, and we were a military family. My father was an Air Force pilot, and so we lived around the world and circled the globe before I was 10, 11 years of age. And I guess I've always had that bug inside of me. And my parents, gave us teachable moments and, taught us to, understand that the world is really much smaller when you get to know people, when you get to understand their customs and get to know who they truly are. And so that's what my life has been about is, trying to pay that forward. Again, the teaching moments that my parents gave me my entire life. I'd also say that I'm my children's dad. I'm blessed to be a father, and I'm also a grandfather. My daughter, my oldest, has two children, and so I'm a grandfather. My grandson James turned 4 this past week. On Tuesday, I called him, and you'll maybe love this because you have 7-year-olds. My grandson said, "Papa," he says, "I can't believe I'm turning 4 years old." He says, I can't believe I'm 4 years old. And so that, just exemplary of my life. I can't believe that I have this chance to visit with you and to visit with leaders all over the world. But again, I've been very fortunate to, have built, several businesses in the past. I'm an entrepreneur. I've had peaks and valleys. I've, loved the peaks, and I've certainly, grown, and my character has been revealed to the valleys. But that's just my background. Is I'm very grateful to have the chance to share the story about inCruises today. Thank you again for having me.
That's brilliant, Michael. So I have to ask, it's incredible backstories. Like always, entrepreneurs never just dealt with one thing, right? You fail and then you come back and you have these winning moments in life. And what was like the turning point in your life? What was it like? What vision or what happened in your life that you said, hey, this is the time that we are going to create inCruises? Yeah.
So I actually just take it back a little bit further. At the age of 19, I was studying in Munich, Germany. I was on a program that focused on European history, culture, and languages. I had a situation where I was working very late at night on a paper, and I got locked up on the 4th floor. And I knew that I had to get back to my dorm room because I had an exam the next day. I had to turn in my paper. And while the hallways were locked, I looked for a way to escape, if you will. And I made a decision that forever shaped my life. I attempted to literally, act like James Bond and slide down a wire, so like a zip line, if you will. And if you can imagine that, I know I've lost all credibility with our audience, but true story. I ended up falling, from 4 stories, and I ended up fracturing my back and cracked my skull and broke my left foot and ankle, and so that was a very tumultuous time in my life. I was told by the doctors that my diagnosis was that I would be paralyzed for the rest of my life, and that I would never walk again. And it was not the vision that I had. And I told the doctors that may be your prescription for me, but that's not the vision that I have. And I don't think that's the reason my Creator put me on earth. And so I'd pray at night, in that hospital bed, and just before the nurses would come and give me shots in my stomach to ease the pain. And I would just pray to be able to recover. And I promised that if I had a second chance to rehabilitate my body and to give back, that I would be an example to other people. I would dedicate my entire life, my energy and resources to help others to live a good life. And so, and that's what happened at the age of 19. And the good news was I recovered, and I ended up playing 3 sports at the university. And again, I was given a second chance to be, that I always wanted to be. And so that has set me on this journey. From age 25 to 33, I worked with Tony Robbins. Again, an opportunity to make a difference for other people. But when I started with Tony, Tony was not known. And in the first few months of joining, I found out that the company was in trouble. So imagine, leaving, your family behind. And I know that you and Radar are, experiencing that, where you're separated. Well, I told my wife and daughter that I was going to go make this business happen. And within 3 months, I was told that we were running out of money. And I ended up having to pay people myself, for them to stay. And I said, listen, if you leave, I respect you for leaving. But if you stay, I promise you that I'll do everything I can to make this a worthwhile experience for you. And I have good reason to believe that we'll make things happen. And 7-8 years later, Tony Robbins' name has become synonymous as probably the #1 peak performance coach around the world. And I think much of what's going on in the world right now is reminiscent of what I experienced, back in the day. Maybe perhaps what you've experienced, that you joined our team, our family, and now we have a situation that's outside of our control. And you had to make a decision. And your decision was let's buckle the seatbelts, let's tighten things up, and let's go to work. And that's what we did. And so I've had many experiences like that. And so here's what I've learned early on in my life: that every setback, every injury, every disappointment has always set me up, Margit, for something bigger and better than what I had at that present time. And so I just know that what we are, you and I and our team, is going through right now is we're being set up for something bigger and better. We don't control this virus. We don't control the quarantine that's happening around the world, but we certainly can control how we respond to it and what we decide to do from this point moving forward. And so, yeah.
Fantastic. So, it's incredible story, Michael, I have to say. You're a winner, that's for sure. We are so blessed to have you as the CEO of inCruises, the captain of our ship, right? But then after all of this, there was a point then. You worked for Tony all those years, and then you said, probably that had an impact on how you saw the world and your capabilities. You just grew stronger and stronger as a person. And then that led you to a point that almost 5 years ago now, inCruises was created. So what was the vision at that point? What drove you to that decision?
Well, again, I think it's important for people to understand the backstory. In 2008 to 2011, when the world was, again, going through crisis, the worst financial downturn in the markets in 2008, 2011, I had the ability to earn and make a lot of money. Why? I helped other people to understand the markets. I had a significant role in a financial education company, and we were trying to teach people, how to, learn what is exactly going on within the markets. And so I've been fortunate to be able to take situations where other people, are struggling and figuring out a way to, make hay with it, if you will. But just before starting inCruises, again, I had another setback. I had a vision that I wanted to build a business that used a network marketing compensation plan. I wanted to build a business that used a network marketing distribution model. And I couldn't find that product. I couldn't find a product that I was passionate about. So the idea that I had, given my financial background, was to take a debit card. So imagine this, Margate, every time that you go to shop at that point of sale, you would create cash back, and so cash back cards are very popular today. But I wanted to create a referral banking model so that every time you use the card, or every time somebody that you referred used the card, you would make money, they would make money. Great model, right?
Yes.
So I was partnered with a very wealthy family. I had the compensation plan. I'd hired all the lawyers, but I couldn't get over the hurdle of our regulators in my country. My government would not approve what we absolutely needed, which is a monthly maintenance fee. I wanted it to be $19 to $24, but the government regulator said no. So I spent months putting together this business that never launched. It never got into the marketplace. And so I lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of time, resources. My partner did not lose money, but I took it on the chin. But again, you have to look back at what was I being set up for? Not why was this happening to me, but what was I being set up for? And what I was being set up for was this opportunity for you and I to have a conversation, to share the story of inCruises. And so again, I keep bringing to your attention the fact that I fortunately / unfortunately have been through many challenges. I've struggled, and I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to have worries. I know what it's like to lay in bed at night and think, how in the world am I going to figure this out and make it work for my family? And I've always come through.
Brilliant. I mean, that is great. I mean, that's a breakthrough moment, right? You just saw that this was the time. And like you said, you were meant for something else. That's why when sometimes things don't work out, maybe you are moving in right direction or wrong direction, and that's what was the case for you, right? So, I mean, it's great. I mean, these stories are really brilliant, and I want to say, Michael, that I will want to just ask you now a few more questions in terms of like when you created the company. I mean, inCruises was designed with these three things in mind, right? It was to travel for less, to travel for free, and get paid to travel, right? So that was like the vision for you. And would you say that these are the three things that make inCruises special?
They are, but I think it's so much more, Margit. I think we're much bigger than just a cruise membership club. I think if I were to pinpoint what makes us special are the relationships that people have, that I have this chance to visit with you and to visit with your team and your leaders. And I think you've been attracted to the transparency of who we are. And so for me, that's probably, in my mind, what's the most special about us is that it's sort of the saying of what you see is what you get. We're very transparent about who we are and what we do. And we're also very transparent about our values and what's important to us. And that either attracts people or it repels people. And I think either way, it's good, right? And so what attracts people are those like-minded people like you and I that are looking for an adventure, to travel, to experience, to grow. And you probably made a promise to your twin girls that I made to my 4 children. And that was that we would see the world, that we would experience it together. So for me, that's number one. That's what makes us special. Number 2, we have something that's economically irresistible. And we'll have a chance to explain that further in this presentation. We have something that's fabulous for the consumer. When Frank and I sat down to put the business plan together, we both have family. We both wanted to, again, experience the world with our children, but we put ourselves in the shoes of a consumer. What would we as a consumer want? Well, we wanted something that was legitimate, something that was genuine, something that was mutually beneficial, and that truly enabled families, average families all over the world to go on a vacation without going into debt. This is what shocked me. This is what really infuriated me. It angered me to know that the average family, not only in my country, but all over the world, would actually borrow money and to go into debt to provide their family with an experience that they would look back on with joy and memory, and just know that they had to borrow about $1,200 to create this experience. So that's the second thing that I think people are attracted to, is the fact that we are doing good things for the consumer. 1, we're transparent, and 2, we have something that's economically irresistible. And number 3, I would just say that's come further down the road than when we originally started, was a relationship with a company right out of your backyard a company called Trust My Travel that has a relationship with Barclays Bank that just says that if people are going to put their hard-earned money into our exclusive membership, and in the unlikely event that we inCruises would fail to perform, that we would suffer, we would be hurt, that we couldn't fulfill our obligation, for the money that people invested in us, that paid into their subscription dues, that would be refunded. So I would say that makes the third thing of what we have very, very special, is we give people consumer protection, we give people peace of mind. And I think in this day and age, that's what people want.
That's very, very important. Well, I've got actually a couple more people here with us, Michael, today, because it's always about the stories. Why, you have your story, I have my story, everybody has their story. So I've actually got a couple more people here who I would like to bring on now one by one, just to tell us why they have chosen inCruises. And I would start with Radar actually here. Just to say, Radar is a great leader also from, Norway. My partner, Radar, so good to see you. We are in isolationship today because we're not together. But please do tell us, Radar, tell a little bit about yourself and why you chose to partner up with inCruises.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the introduction. And it's so cool to meet online again, because we haven't met for months. And good to see you again, Michael. So, yeah, why inCruises for me? I mean, when I traveled to US, to Las Vegas last December, and met Michael Hutchison, I met Abel Prieto, I met Bruce from the legal team. I met a lot of people from that have been working with inCruises for years, and I ask everyone, how is this company? Is there anything to be aware of? Are they like honest people, and can we really trust the idea? And everyone was so happy. And I have to say, I'm so happy that Michael's credit card didn't work out for him, this business, because I think cruising is much more sexy than credit cards. And also, I think it's really cool that you can have the family involved. So I was talking for you guys. I was talking to Margaret a little bit earlier today, and her twins was there, and suddenly I heard one of them said, "Why can't you call this Michael now?" I mean, the kids are involved, and that's the cool thing. So I think travel together, experience new things, new places together, like all of us, when we can do that again, it's much more fun than like sit around and drink health juice together. I mean, this product is so much more. And this culture that this inCruises company has is so much more. So that's where I really fell in love with inCruises. It was about the culture. So thank you, inCruises. I mean, it's a fantastic company, really good to be part of this. And with the leadership this company has, there's no doubt this is the company.
Thank you, Radar. We will be hearing from you more throughout this presentation. But I have to say now we got next person online, Svein Østvik from Norway. So good friend of Radar, an absolute superstar. So Svein, if you're there, please come on the screen and tell us, why did you choose inCruises? Good to see you, my friend.
Very, very easy. It was very easy because I get excited. My pulse was going up when on the first presentation. When the pulse is increasing, then it's something happening. So I understood immediately that this was the best product I've ever seen, because I'm traveling with my children every year, 3 children from 18 to 22, and of course I try to be the best father I can, and then you have to use the card very often, you know.
That's
not only the trip, but also the restaurants and everything. And when I came home, I think, why didn't I save some before this trip? And when I saw that, it was easy. And after 2 months now, I'm so happy, and I can trust my intuition because this company has been, it's been like my heart already. I love Michael Hutchison. I've cried when he called me first time. I was like a child getting a compliment from his father. It was fantastic. So and to show people a better way of living lives, to show all the possibilities that you can experience through traveling, to meet people. I think it's only good sides about this company. I can't find one example of what is not good. I always try to find. We have two. We can split the head.
Yeah.
And I have one with the sun and one with the dark. But the dark side can't even find a bad thing. So,
All right.
So
That's
fantastic, and I enjoy to be here.
Thank you so much. Again, we're going to hear a little bit more from you again later on about your achievements within the company. But for now, thank you so much, Svein. So I'm going to also bring on the last testimonial here from Katre. So Katre, my dear friend from Estonia, we have been friends now for over 5 years, but I'm always so happy to see you. So hello, my friend. How are you? And tell us a little bit about yourself and why did you choose inCruises?
Hello, everybody. So yes, I'm Katra. I'm from Estonia, and actually, why I decided to join inCruises, the reason was so simple. I just saw it as an amazing opportunity to travel the world and to do it also with my friends and family. And second thing, like life is not only about going to work every day. It's also about living a dream. And for me, it is definitely travel is one part of my dream and my family's dream. And I saw inCruises as an amazing vehicle to make it happen. Yes. Thank you.
Fantastic, Katra. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be on this journey with you and with so many other cool people who we got on this call today. But thank you again, Katra. We will be hearing more from you, but thank you for sharing your lovely story. So I have to say, I'm going to bring Michael on in a second again, but I just want to get into a little bit more about inCruises and what we do here. So in a way, one of the cool things about inCruises is that, as you've gathered already, you know, we are actually a travel membership club that is designed to help you to travel then for less, for free, and also get paid to travel. But sometimes people say, hey, like, you know, I have a long list of countries that I want to go to. And they say, hey, like, you know, I want to see the world, right? But you have so little time to actually go and explore the world. So sometimes, you know, you got to think, what's a better way of seeing the world? And I have to say, having traveled really well, I was on 75 flights last year. So I know exactly what it means to actually spend a lot of time at the airports. And I was like, why? Why should I do it all the time? You know, so we took a really fantastic cruise to Bora Bora, to Tahiti, to all the French Polynesian islands with radar. And I said, is this possible? Because all I had to worry about was like go and explore during the daytime. And in the evenings, I got entertained and I had a beautiful rest in my proper bed. So, you know, you have to ask yourself, what are your dream destinations and how much time do you really have to go and explore those places? And why not then actually do it with a cruise? So if you could actually vacation more, pay less money for it, and sometimes maybe even go and cruise for free, and why not even get paid for it, then would that really be something that could interest you? So we have to say that, you know, I'm going to have to say that inCruises was created as the world's first and only travel membership club that is focused solely on the cruise industry. So basically, if you want to book a cruise and you member with inCruises, then you just come to inCruises.com, you log into your account, and voila, the whole world is going to be in front of you, because there are 5,500 cruises today on the platform, and there are awesome cruise lines who we actually have, you know, partnered up with, and you can go anywhere in the world. So really, world becomes your oyster. And we are very proud to be members of CLIA, the Cruising Line Association of the world. And I mean, this is the dream. This is the dream of living the cruising dream here. So I have to bring you back on, Michael, because one of the next things I want to talk about is really here about the cruises and how do cruises compare to land vacations. And I just want to ask you, Michael, like very often, I mean, first of all, I just say a couple of words. I know, Michael, you are excited about cruises, but boy, I'm excited. I mean, this ship here is a beauty. It's Symphony of the Seas by Royal Caribbean. It fits 9,000 people on board. You have swimming pools, zip lines, basketball courts, volleyball courts. You can surf, you know, you can lay in the sun. You can go and have part of entertainment. You can sing, you can dance, you can laugh, you know, you can go to theaters. But the beauty of it is that sometimes people say, well, listen, if I'm part of this membership club, then do I get treated the same when I actually go on board of the ship? And Michael, I mean, how do you say, inCruises members marked like A, have X on their back and say you entered this ship as somebody else and not the regular guest? What would you say about that?
I would say you are exactly just like everybody that's on that ship. Whatever cabin that you book yourself into, whether it's an interior stateroom or a balcony or a suite, you have the same advantage as everybody else. If you're a member of the loyalty club associated with that cruise line, you also receive those added value benefits. But what we have is something that nobody else has, which again is our secret sauce, if you will, that you and I will explain in just a minute, is knowing that you paid far less than anybody else on board. What you have as a member with inCruises is unmatched. What you have is unavailable. There's really three types of pricing, when it comes to travel. You have public prices, you have published prices, if you will, retail prices. And so, those are what everybody sees. You have the second tier of pricing, which is what online travel agencies offer, the big online websites. And then you have wholesale. And so what we have is a combination of wholesale with our 2-for-1 cruise dollars that, again, makes what you have unavailable, because the wholesale pricing that we have, and again, I won't get into the complete negotiation that we have because that is our trade secret. But what I just shared with you is an idea behind the secret, which is that of those three levels, you're at a level as a part of our exclusive membership club that nobody else has. We have price parity with those same published prices in our website. But when you redeem, when you use your membership advantage, your cruise dollars, your travel credits, what you pay then out of pocket, that cost is unmatched and unavailable. So the answer is absolutely, you have what everybody has in terms of credits and advantages that are available to everybody. What you though have when you get home is a price point that's unmatched and unavailable.
Good. So there is no separate breakfast room for us.
Nope. You're there front and center.
That's great. I mean, it's good to know because people have experienced that in some other models, and then people are just, asking the obvious. So thank you so much for putting that one out of the way. So, that just brings us on to the next thing. I mean, also, like Michael said, there is a good value in the membership, but there are three ways actually how you can benefit from partnering up with inCruises. I mean, you can, as a member, you can cruise for less, and then you can also have the option to cruise for free and also get paid to cruise. So how about we start off and we just talk about how can you actually cruise for less? So inCruises has got something very unique, just like Michael said, it's called cruise dollars. So whether you like to go on a 1 cruise or 100 cruises, it really doesn't matter. The only way you could lose is if you don't cruise. So if you don't ever want to go on a cruise, then this is not something for you. But if you say, hey, I've never been, but I would like to give it a go, or you just love cruising, then here is something that can make it really valuable for your family. So you can start your membership with just paying $100 into your cruise account, and inCruises immediately gives you 200 cruise dollars to spend on booking cruise vacations. Now, from first day onwards, you can see the scale. You're going to just double the value of the dollars that you save every single month. So sometimes people say, hey, at the moment, the elephant in the room, nobody's cruising. Why should I even think about it? Start saving for something now. But I'd say so. It's actually, common knowledge that people never just go and join and then they go and cruise on the same day. They always want to plan ahead. And within our model, actually, Michael, people look at it and they say, listen, it's too good to be true. Okay, I start saving today. And you say, I put in 100 and you give me 200 cruise dollars as a credit. How can you afford this?
Sure. So it's a great question. So I'll just, again, secret number one, we don't build the product. We don't spend the millions of dollars, almost $1 billion, $950 million on average to build the ship. So we're not building the product. We're not spending the money to promote and advertise the brand. And so what we do is we simply redirect that money back into 2-for-1 cruise dollars that makes it, again, irresistible. And so it's our cost of doing business. Again, we're just redirecting the dollars, Margit, instead of spending the money on building, on promoting, and then taking over the phone cruise reservations. We do it all online. We don't have large buildings with thousands of employees. We're good stewards of our money and your money in terms of running the business from a very, I'll say it, frugal standpoint. And so one of the ways that we do it is just, again, redirecting the money. And for us, we want you to travel because we inCruises earn a commission from the cruise line. And so our cost of doing business is for you to go out and travel, experience the world, and to do what? To share with people that you love and care about the most. It's human nature to share those things that we enjoy and love. And so you're promoting socially on Facebook, Instagram, and other social media accounts is your cost of doing business. And so that's the way that we make it work. It's really a combination. It's a combination of what I mentioned earlier, the wholesale pricing, unpublished, not available to the public, this recurring membership that we have, and the relationship that we have with our booking provider. That's how we make the 2-for-1 cruise dollars work.
Excellent. I mean, that was really well explained because, yeah, sometimes people say, is there a money tree growing in the garden, or how is this possible? But of course, like any business, right, there is a model behind the model, right? So this is how inCruises has made it work. And I have to say, one thing that I love most about these cruise dollars is that they actually never expire, right, Michael? You can just literally collect them for years, even if you like. So whether something is happening in the world today that stops you from traveling or not, you can actually plan ahead and you can say, hey, I would like to go on a cruise in 3 years or 5 years time, and that will be totally fine because your cruise dollar value will just keep on increasing, right? So that's a great way to look at it. But the other thing then, yes, the other thing brings me on to this amazing booking engine that we have that actually gives you 5,500 cruises to choose from. And you already have visibility into like April 2022. And I didn't know, first of all, that you can literally go and cruise anywhere in the world these days. But what really amazes me, of course, is that we have these amazing pricing, like any cruise line. If they have an offering, we would have the same offering, right, Michael? So that's because of the partnership again, right?
Yes. So again, we've got relationships with all the major cruise lines. So the top 15 of the biggest brands within the industry, we have relationships with. But you have to bring it back to, again, Margit, what I talked about in the beginning, which is what problem do we solve? The problem that we solve is that the average family can't afford to pay for a vacation in advance. So they borrow money, they go into debt, they put it on a credit card, and then they go on this vacation and they get home, and see if this resonates to our audience, and they stress out and they get in arguments with their spouses, and they argue and bicker back and forth about, gosh, why did we do that? Why did we spend this money that we can't afford to pay for right now? And so the problem that we solve is that we take that stress and anxiety off the table, because the cruise booking is actually paid for before you leave, and you still have cruise dollars left over that continue to accumulate in your account, making what? The next vacation that you go on even more affordable. So that's what our partners and would-be members have to keep in mind, is that freedom that we make available of making it affordable and taking that stress and anxiety off the table. That's the problem that we solve. And so people have to look at what other downside risks do I have? So for me, there's just a few of them. If you cannot afford the $100 US per month, then respectfully, we're probably not a match. And look, $100 is a lot of money for a lot of people. But people have to take that into consideration right now. If you can't afford to go on vacation, yes, we have a solution, but you have to really examine, is the timing right for my family and I right now? That's number one. Number two, when the cruise lines do come back, they're going to be back July, August timeframe, some sooner, some later. You have to be able to get yourself to the port. You live west of London, you probably have to get yourself down to Southampton, or you've got to get yourself, up to, Norway, to see Ryder and his group. But you get yourself to the port, right? So you have to be able to afford to get yourself to the port. When you go on vacations, again, when the lines are back, you have to be able to pay gratuities. You have to be able to take some excursions, pay for a drink package, for example. And as long as you can cover those basics of affording the $100 a month and getting yourself to the port, and then when you go out on that vacation, be able to pay for gratuities and perhaps, take your family on some excursions, then what we have is unmatched and unavailable. But I think it's important that people are not, oversold. There's nothing to be sold here, Margit.
Yes.
What we have is very valuable. And the only thing I'm trying to convince people of is that there's a better lifestyle, and that, yes, people are pent up. People want to get out on vacation. And so what we have is a tremendous economically irresistible value for people to take advantage of, but it has to be right for them. And if it's not right, then fantastic. And if it is right for them, then let's explore that relationship.
Great. I mean, that's great. You kind of mentioned the point, and I brought up a new slide because I already heard you talking about it, but this is exactly what Michael was saying. And I just want to illustrate it with a little bit with the numbers and what Michael said, that, if you have something, that you go on a vacation, let's say you are first year a member within inCruises, you can actually use 60% of your available cruise dollar balance being a member for the first year. So you can see these percentages increase, so you can understand that your value as a member will go up. I mean, your savings go up and up and up with every passing year. And that is incredible because, in a way, like we said, some people want to cruise a lot. Some people want to wait a couple of years before they go anywhere. But what does it really mean? If you are a new member today, for example, you just joined, you paid in your $100, and the company has given you 200 cruise dollars to your account, and you can use 60% of that money today. That means you can actually use on the first month of your membership $120, and you just paid in 100. So you can already have a value on the first month of your membership of 20% more than what you have just paid into your cruise dollar account. And now, if you look at the numbers, you can understand that value will just increase. And if we give an example, as if somebody says, listen, I've got this dream cruise that I want to go on. I've got lots of family that I want to bring. And like Michael said, average family cannot actually afford to go on a lot of vacations. So if you are a member of inCruises and you say, hey, I'm going to put aside $100 for next 48 months. So you save $4,800, and the company has given you exactly the same value, because every time you put in 100, the company has added another $100 and you doubled in value. So at the end of year 4, you would have 9,600 cruise dollars on your account. And as you move into your 5th membership year, so from the 49th month onwards, you can always use 100% of all the cruise dollars on your account, which means that if you were to go and spend that $9,600, you would make a 50% saving on your booking, which means that you can actually afford to travel quicker and more, if you like, right? So there is this option there. And I just love that about it, Michael. Really, people can plan ahead. They say, exactly, I know I will have that amount available when I want to go on cruise, and that's where we're going to book, and that's what we're going to do. So this is really, for me, so valuable lesson. And that's, in a way, a little bit educational, how to teach people not to get into debt over holidays. I've done it when I was young, when I used to sing. Oh my gosh, my credit card was out all the time. I mean, I spent it all the time. And I know exactly what it means. But I'm so grateful now that, just having been in inCruises, I have learned this, that there's another way for many people around the world to not get into that situation. And that brings me on to the next thing. What is actually better than going on cruising for good prices? It's actually cruising for free. So inCruises has got this amazing model, and I mean, Michael has been talking about how the company spends the money. So they have chosen that, hey, we want to have this direct marketing model that we use, because it works much better, Michael, right? If I recommend my hairdresser to you, you are more likely to go to that hairdresser and use their service than seeing somebody just put a sign up, hey, a hairdresser's open here, right? So it kind of works. And I just have to say, like with membership free, it's basically when you refer 5 members to the company. So 5 people who would love cruising and say, hey, we see value in this membership, we want to join inCruises as well, then the company, as a bonus, would start paying 200 cruise dollars every single month onto your account, as long as you have those 5 active members who you have referred to the platform. Now, that would make a total value of 2,400 cruise dollars in a single year. And what I love about it most, and I know, Michael, so many people have said it, this is where the click happened for them. They said, hey, some people go and get an extra job to actually earn extra income to take their family on a vacation. But here, for taking a step to actually talk about inCruises membership model to your friends, if they decide to join, you can generate 2,400 cruise dollars as a bonus every single year, and you can use 100% of cruise dollars on a cruise every single year as a free member. Now think about it a little bit. That's incredible. That's like giving yourself a pay rise. That's like giving yourself a winning lottery ticket, right, Michael? I mean, so many people work for it. They say, I want to win. Like I have a competition at work. There's a cruise for a prize, right? At the end of the year. Well, here you go. You can give yourself that win. And Michael, I mean, what really drove you to this cruise for free solution? And how can, again, company really, like people say, hey, if everybody's going to cruise for free, like how can company afford that? So can you just, shed some light on that?
Sure. Well, again, to your comment, I think there's nothing better than knowing that you're helping to solve a problem and that you're adding value. And again, I'm not, judging or putting us up on a pedestal. But we're doing the opposite of what most companies do that use a direct selling or network marketing compensation model. Instead of increasing the price to pay out a compensation plan, we're doing everything we can to reduce the price, to make it affordable, and still paying out a very lucrative compensation model. And again, but there's nothing better than knowing that you're solving a problem and you're adding value and that you're getting rewarded for helping people to save money. And again, we have a tangible product. 25 million people went on a cruise when we started 5 years ago. It was estimated this year, Margit, that 32 million people were going to go on a cruise. So again, there's tangible demand with a tangible product. And again, we're doing the opposite of what most companies are doing. And again, it's just a way of saying thank you. It's a way of people getting out of that comfort zone. The model is really a metaphor to leave the safety of the harbor behind. And I wish, Margit, that every partner that enrolls would in fact refer 5 people. It just doesn't happen. But fortunately, we have upwards of 10,000 partners that are membership free. Wow. So we say thank you to those 10,000. And again, do the math on what we pay out on a monthly basis and the match with cruise dollars, where we say thank you for your referral, for your generous referral. And so what we have is proven and working all over the world.
That's brilliant, Michael. I mean, that's exactly what I saw in it. I was like so blown away by it. And I said, if nothing else, then everybody should at least strive for 5, because this is such an incredible difference you can have in your life. And I think I'm going to bring on now our guests here, who we have Radar and Stein and Katre, because they are all membership free. So I want them to tell you their stories about it. So Radar, let's have you on first. And please tell us, when did you actually become membership free? When did you join? And then what happened from that point onwards? So, where are you now? Hey, Radar. I hope I can have you on. But yes, so maybe we start with Svein or Radar. Can you come on now? Not sure why the camera is not opening, but hey, I'm going to bring on Svein then. So Svein, come and tell us your story, please. How did you become membership free? How long did it take you? And what emotions did you have out of it?
It took 2 days. So I started with a cup of coffee with Heidi and Reidar. And of course, I was halfway in the presentation. I was smiling and I took up my telephone and I called the first call, and they were coming to the same cup of coffee, 2 persons, and they said, of course, yes. So then it was 2, and the second day I was already know about, we had three webinars, so I had people on every webinar. And they went in number 1 in the first webinar, number 4 in the second, and then the 5th in the third webinar the day after. So, and of course, it is because I think the most important thing is you have to understand deep inside you that this is as Michael said, very valuable. So when you know a thing is good, then people. So they saw in my face and in my way of being that this is very important. This is very valuable. This can be great as and it shall be.
I know. I remember that thing. It was like this. I was like calling Radar, and Radar said, I can't let you hear the phone. And Sven was already, you were calling everybody, right? As soon the minute you saw it, you said, why wait? I'm going to share it with you now. And that's how it happened for you. So that was like literally bang, right? So
Hello,
here is
Radar.
Radar. Can you tell us about your story now? I mean, Stein told, I mean, you actually got started before Stein. You were the first person in Norway to get started with this, right? On 1st of January. So tell us your story with Membership Free.
Yeah, I signed it in 3 minutes into 2020. So I was, before the fireworks have landed, I was signing in. So I was really fired up about this. And I was membership free the first day. So that's the only time I have beaten Svein. So, but I was really enthusiastic for the product. And I mean, for me, it was just calling some friends and tell them you have to do this. This is the great thing. And it was easy. And yeah, so membership free the first day, signed in 16 people the first month. So it was a good start. But I mean, when you know that you have the best product, there is nothing to stop you.
So you gave a clue there because you said, hey, you didn't stop at 5. And in a minute, we're going to talk about why you didn't stop at 5. And there's more stories to come from both Svein and Radar. But don't go anywhere, guys. We bring on Katre as well. Let's have Katre on the screen with us. So Katre, please tell us your membership free story and how do you become membership free?
Well, at first, I would like to say these two guys are crazy. Yes, I actually joined inCruises on 1st of February, and it took me like 21 days to get my 5. So it meant for me that I actually earned more money back, which Margit gonna tell more as well, and also that I got like $2,400 for free every year to cruise. So it's actually like in Estonia, it's like 2 or 3 months salary. So it's insane. I just feel so blessed. Thank you.
Can I ask you, Svein, and then like Katre and maybe Radar, you know, as well, but your travel budget for the year, what it normally would have been, like what would you have said you spent on a holiday that when you went on a holiday, if you weren't a free member, like what could you put out and what would you cash out to go on a holiday every year?
Up to 100,000 crowns, $10,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think
good.
I think you know. I think you know ours, Margit. So I mean, we have been on vacation every month the last 2.5 years. So last year we spent like $60,000, yeah, so on traveling. So yeah, we have a quite big budget, but we love traveling like crazy.
Yeah, but it gives a value, isn't it, to think that free membership, Radar is a free member, I'm a free member, we can combine that, and combined we actually have $4,800 to spend every year for free on a cruise. And why not, you know, have something to share with your loved ones, right? So Katre, I mean, these guys are crazy. I mean, they are celebrities in their own right. In their
it was a holiday for all my children too. So alone, I don't spend anything.
Okay.
24,000 is very good for me alone. Fantastic.
All right. So still, it's quarter of your travel budget that you get out of inCruises at the moment for free, right? So that's beneficial. So Katre, how about you?
Well, for me, it would have been definitely less than $2,400 because I just always chose to go to work and make money. And I would have thought like, oh, maybe when I'm 60, I will go and travel. Or if I go and travel now, then maybe maximum 1,000. Yeah, in a year.
Yeah. So in a way, that's what you pointed out, isn't it? It's like 3 months average salary, almost the 2,400. So, you know, you can really make a difference with that. So thank you so much, everybody, again, sharing your story. I'm going to bring you on in a minute again, but we got more to take through with Michael here in a minute. So I'm going to go back to the slides and I'm going to just say that, you know, what Radar mentioned, he didn't actually stop at just talking to number of people, like, you know, 5 people and say, hey, we can cruise for free, because it was always something more for Radar that he saw in it and many people see in it, because in today's economy where the world is so distressed, and what experts have said, they have said, listen, like having just the one job or one income is not safe in today's world. So people have to be clever. They have to think about different ways of making money, have multiple income streams. And what inCruises has actually offered to the people who join them, they say, hey, actually, the moment you decide that you're going to share the opportunity with the people, you know, who would like to cruise and you help us to build the membership base, we actually give you the opportunity to come and partner up with inCruises and actually start earning real money bonuses as well. And Michael, I would like to bring you back on here because I would just like to ask you the question, how do partners make money in inCruises?
Sure. Well, I think it's important, a couple of things just, philosophically, about the compensation plan, in that I have more of a traditional business background. And so when I looked at these plans, and even when I started to create my own, I said to myself, how does the average person even understand, how they do what you just asked me? How do they make money? They had, descriptions that were just foreign to me, commissionable value and BV and PV and personal volume and business volume. It didn't make sense to me. And so for me, I'm just very straightforward. I wanted to give our team a plan that anybody, with or without experience, with or without any type of network marketing, distribution backgrounds, could make money, not just the top leaders. And so I think it's important that people understood that. But I also wanted a plan that empowered people to know that that we were enabling them to create smart passive income. I think that's something that everybody wants. And I also think that people want residual income. I think what people want is that they put the energy and the effort and resources and their reputation, their reputation behind a product that you represent, that you also get paid on it long term. And I think that's what we have done, and that's what we've satisfied. And again, I'm biased. But we have multiple ways for people to make money. And I think, again, just keep it really simple. You get paid up front. You get paid instantly. We give you bonuses for referring members. We give you instant pay bonuses for enrolling partner members. There's a clear distinction. Members are again, members. They take advantage of the cruise savings. Partners promote the business opportunity. And so there's upfront money, again, instant pay bonuses that I think people want. When you start a business, you have to figure out a way to make money short term, but you'll also have to have a way to create money long term. And our plan satisfies that. And so the back end, again, as a primary bucket, is residual income. And everybody that I know, Margit, whether involved in traditional or non-traditional businesses, wants residual income. Again, that income that comes into your account daily, weekly, monthly, as a result of your endorsement, your testimonial, your referral into our exclusive membership.
So I would actually go and hop a slide, and that's exactly what Michael is now talking about, that we are open for people who want to develop this membership base further, and they say, hey, let's partner up, show us the ropes, tell us how we can do this. And what inCruises has created is this passive income stream with so many different options, right? Just like Michael said. And I mean, I want to take this amazing opportunity here, Michael, and I want you to just talk about this particular slide in your own words, and what do you see, how people can relate to that, or what they can make of it for themselves?
Well, again, as the CEO and owner, I have to give a disclosure that this is an illustration. The lawyers would breathe down my neck if I didn't give that disclosure.
That's fine.
Again, it's an example, so as long as we're cool with that, then we're good to go. But what I would call your attention to is what I talked about. And I'm not going to talk about the upfront bonuses that you earn. I'm going to talk just about the residual income, because for me, that's what people really want. And if you look at this column here called members, and where it has 30 plus, 100 plus, 250, 500 plus, what we're saying there is that if you are responsible for helping others to become productive, if you're responsible for helping people to leverage their efforts, and you grow a team with 30 or more members on your team, then you can earn up to $300 in residual income on a monthly basis. When you are empowered to, again, help others to be productive, to leverage your efforts and others, and you've got over 100 people on your team, you can earn residual income. Again, money that comes into your account every time somebody makes a membership payment of up to $1,000 US per month. And again, Margit, go back to what I talked about in the beginning. The average family in my country, in the United States of America, could not afford an extra expense of $400 a month. So my original plan, our original vision was, gosh, we could help people to put food on the table. If we could help people to pay their bills and pay their bills on time, and we could enable people to go on vacations just by helping them to build a team of 100 plus or more, then you know what? We would hold our heads up high. We would be very proud of that measurable impact that we created for people. And so did you follow the example that I gave there of just residual income? That's all I'm focused on, is enabling your team to leverage other people's efforts of 30 or more or 100 or more, and notwithstanding the team leadership bonuses, notwithstanding any of those instant pay bonuses, but just empowering people to bring in an extra $300 to $500, $700, $1,000 a month. You'll make a measurable difference in people's lives. Again, average families can't afford an extra $400 expense. The refrigerator breaks down, the car breaks down. You know, kids get braces. You know, you get these expenses again that I've struggled with as a parent, and that was my primary focus in putting together this plan.
Yes. I mean, this is brilliant, Michael. And I mean, again, our guests here today, like Radar and Svein, and they actually, I will bring them on and tell their story, how they have achieved that. And what Michael is really saying about leveraging other people's efforts is that you don't need to bring in that number of members by yourself. This is a team effort. This is like working together, achieving dreams together, you know, working towards a common goal, because you will know, you know, some people who will know some people. So this is how everything comes together. And I have to say that these are, you know, some of these amounts, they scare people. They say, is this really for real? Like, if they see like somebody could earn over $100,000, you know, as an illustration though, but there is a potential that you can earn that if you put in the work and become a board of directors over the, you know, course of years that you put in the effort here. Then Michael, I mean, how can companies sustain such payouts? And, you know, how does that really work? Because people get scared about these big numbers. They say, is this a scam? Like, how can you pay that much money?
Yeah, again, it's not a scam. It's the relationship that we have with our providers, the relationship that we have with the cruise lines, the relationship that we have with banks, the relationship that we have with our payout providers. Those relationships are essential to our success. And again, if you don't have the ability to take money in, and we're very successful in that we do business in 170 plus countries around the world, Margit, and if you don't have that ability to make that very simple process work for people, you won't be in business. It's one of the reasons, unfortunately, that many businesses in this field do not survive. They just don't have the ability to bring money in. And I'm very proud of the fact that we have strong banking relationships, you know, all over the world, not only to receive money, but to pay people out. But again, every time you enable your members to go on a cruise, we earn money. We make money through membership payments. We make money through partnership payments. We make money through what? Partnership renewal payments. We also, yes, have some tools, what we call power tools, and we make some money in this direction. And so those are the ways that we bring money in. And just as important is it to understand the way that we bring money in, is to understand, Margit, clearly what we don't spend out, the money that we protect leaving our business. And again, just to review, we don't build ships. We don't spend the $300 to $500 million to promote the brand that the cruise lines do. We don't have big offices. We have 4, office locations. Our headquarters in Puerto Rico. We have offices in Andorra, in Madrid, Spain, and Miami. But you don't see our name on the top of a building. We don't have employees, thousands of employees with call center headsets on, taking reservations. We do all our reservations online. And I think it's important for our team to understand that we've not paid a single leader. I mean, the leaders that you've attracted were superstars. I mean, secret weapons that any company would love and die to have. But we didn't make any offer to any of the leaders that you've attracted that I'm so grateful for.
That's right.
And that won't change. And you know what? And I think, unfortunately, that doesn't give this industry a level playing field. And we wanted to do something about that. And I think this industry has also attracted some scrupulous, perhaps, business practices that we just don't get involved with. We don't spend a lot of money on legal bills and legal expenses. And so, Margit, that's how we make it work. is that we have something that everybody wants, that everybody needs, and we have something that's very tangible, and we bring money in, but we also, more importantly, we protect the money that's going out. And it's that combination of all those things. Margit, as the owner and CEO, I'd love to tell you that, we have a product that costs X and you just mark it up and you sell it for it. No, we have to be very shrewd in the way that we manage the business, and that's how we make it work. And I'm happy to tell you that we make it work very well. And it's proven itself out because in our first 4 years, we've had 12 leaders who have reached the highest position within our company. And that's one of the areas that I'm most proud of.
That is right. Yes, there are 12 amazing people. And but it didn't come overnight to them, right? They put in the work, because it's like Abel put a comment here. We are the marketing. So everybody who goes out and creates members, we are the marketing force of inCruises, right? So we get paid for the efforts that we put in, and it's not like get rich quick scheme. But that brings me to another point here, Michael. I just wanted to call you Abel for a second. So been talking too much to you, Abel, today. So anyways, I wanted to ask you something. Obviously, with the elephant in the room, Corona is out there, and people are like, boy, you must have a lot of members at the moment quitting. And how's your retention, Michael? Like, what's happening with retention? And I know a little bit of background, but people are thinking that. They think because of Corona, we have lots of members who will quit. Yeah. What can you say about that?
I'll just say, look, the original vision was never for people to get on one cruise and leave. We were building a lifestyle. We wanted to hang out with fun people like you. We wanted to be around like-minded people for the rest of our lives. That was the vision. And so it was never about booking a cruise and then leaving. And so fortunately, our business model is not dependent on selling individual cruises. It's a lifestyle model. So one of the things that I'm actually most surprised with, in fact, when I take you back 5 years, I said to my partner, Frank, Frank, you know what? We want to be just like Uber. We want to be just like Airbnb. Look what those guys did. They're global. They're helping people to create part-time incomes. He says, yeah, but that's not really our model. I said, yes, it is. We're doing things where we control. We don't own. Uber doesn't control taxes. They control transportation. Airbnb doesn't own the hotels. They control the overnight stays. But guess what? In the last 2 months, we've had positive income growth. We remain profitable. And unfortunately, it breaks my heart because they're my inspiration, that the Ubers and the Airbnbs of the world, unfortunately, they have suffered. They've had to let go up to 15% of their staff. Well, yeah. Our business continues to grow. So that's one of the things that when I look back, I'm most grateful and feel incredibly blessed, knowing that we have this recurring membership model and we've got positive growth. Well, yes, our business is down from where we were in January and February. We had the biggest months in our 5-year history in January and February. And so they're down, but we're still growing. We're hiring people. We just promoted people. We just released our website in yet another language and in Mongolian of all places. And so we're not thinking small. We're not playing small. We continue to grow and take ourselves to the next level.
That's great. This is so good to hear. And I hope everybody's getting good value out of this call, because I have to say that normally when we do regular company presentations, don't be scared that if you join inCruises, every presentation is going to be as lengthy. But we have this really unique opportunity to be doing this business presentation together with Michael, together with some members of the team. And this is in a way a unique story. So I just really want everybody to put in the chat if you're getting value out of this. And if you're okay to hang in there, we got a little bit more to share. Just to give you the full story of inCruises, this is unique opportunity. So I just have to say that, we appreciate that you're hanging in there. We haven't actually lost any guests. We have hundreds of people on this call and everybody's here and listening. So I guess that this is like great value. So we will just keep on, Michael, right? We will keep at it. So I'm going to actually have to bring on now a couple of leaders in just a moment of time. So get ready. But I just want to say that on top of that, it's very simple how inCruises is paying out. So they have partnered up with these 5 different platforms. So whenever you get paid your compensations, you're going to actually have money coming into your inCruises platform. Then you get the money paid out through one of these, platforms, and you just transfer it onto your bank account, or you just transfer it onto your inCruises card that you order through Pioneer. They do some KYC. They just make sure you are who you are. So there is no fraudulent activity. Everything is safe, stupid, simple. That's what they say, right? So this is really, really cool. But what I want to share with you also is, whenever leaders say, hey, I'm going to take it on and I'm going to build a great membership base for the company. I'm going to add in people who love to cruise, bring on other leaders. Maybe you bring in more people who just love to cruise. They are just members. And every single time you enroll 5 partner members in a calendar month. Now, this is something that you don't have to do, but you can do. And every single month you do that, you enroll 5 partner members, you're going to get extra $250 for cruising. Now, if you would add 10 partner members in a calendar month, you're going to get extra $500 for cruising. I mean, imagine, we already talked about free membership value and so on, but you keep on adding those dollars by the activity and actions that you do. So you can really cruise more often and all the rest of it. But the other cool thing, again, about starting a business, right? Often that means a lot of cost. If you start the general business, you're going to have to put a lot of money in to actually make a return. But here, inCruises has said, hey, if you're going to get started fast, so if you're going to build a strong foundation and you're actually going to reach marketing director and you're going to bring in 30 partner members in just 3 months, so that's in less than 90 days, then you can qualify for the $3,000 Fast Start Award. Now imagine getting extra $3,000 actually in your wallet in 90 days time. That's like, I mean, this is amazing. And this is really that can make a difference in this difficult time, because even if you were like, looking at it and you said, I don't know, I'm going to give this a go. Why not just have a go, like full go at it and reach this level? Because I say, if you reach a marketing director within your first 90 days, you can't stop this business, because there are people who would have joined who say, hey, we want to share it to our friends as well. And this is how you keep on growing. Now, if you look at the Rolex watches incentive trips, they're super cool things, but I know I'm going to steal a little bit of Radar's thunder, but I want to tell that story that when he went to America to meet with Hutch and all the rest of the team and Abel, he said that I went to the company event and I saw people who were getting awarded with these Rolexes and they were getting their pins and they were getting recognized. Then there was 20 years old people from Miami on the stage, and they were 65-year-old ladies from Ukraine. And everybody was happy because they all had a vision. They said, hey, here is a valuable thing here. We are helping the people in our country also travel for better price, or travel for free, or earn extra money. And it's just social proof that it doesn't matter where you come from. You too have the opportunity, if you believe in it enough, to make it a success for yourself. So now I would like to bring in again our guests here, and I will start off with Radar. I would like you to tell the story, Radar. We know that you have ranked up in the company already. You are making passive income. You are very successful from your past experiences, because you've been in direct sales business for 38 years now. So, I mean, this is a long time. But please do share your story within inCruises, and why do you see that you were able to achieve such a success in such a short time?
Well, thank you. Most of all, I like the simple way. I mean, as long as it's not complicated, you can invite everyone and everyone can have success. So inCruises is, I think it's the most simple plan I ever saw, because the product is simple, the compensation plan is simple, everything is so simple, and probably that's why it works so well online as well. So I'm like the old school guy, because I've been in this industry for 38 years, as you say, and I started off in one way, and I still do my business exactly the same way, but then it had to be like easy, simple business. And I was thinking about this residual program that you just showed. I mean, most people, they have residual bills, they have residual payments to do every month, and if you can help people to get residual income to cover all this residual cost. I mean, if people have residual costs, residual bills of $500 a month, help them to have residual income, $500 per month. Take away the stress, take away the problem. I mean, I have a lot of friends over the years that have divorced, and mostly there are money involved in a divorce, because there is fighting about money so many times. And if you can help people to get a calmer life and to take care of their bills, take care of their worries, I mean, then it's no problem. So it's a simple program that you can show to everyone, and we do it online. I mean, it's easy enough to do it online. So I think that's really, really cool. And yeah, I mean, you will have success if you follow this simple program. So just plug into the program. Don't try to do it your way or a better way, because you don't need to do it a better way. This is absolutely good enough, more than good enough. So keep it simple and just plug into the program. That's how it is.
Thank you so much, Radar. We have a comment here from Abel also. Radar, if we keep saying the Ukrainian ladies were 65 years old, we're going to start the world war, and I gotta visit them in September.
Okay, I will reduce it to 63. Okay.
63, and they look fabulous. So that's definitely not like being an ageist, I have to say. So
Okay.
Thank you, Radar. Thank you for sharing your story. So Svein, please do come on next and please tell us your story. I mean, you have had an amazing story again with inCruises in terms of what you have achieved, because you put your heart into it and you ranked up, you know, in the company very, very quick, and you had amazing results. And, you know, without really saying the income claims, just tell us, I mean, how have you felt? How is building this business, and what's the emotion? Is it hard? You know, what do you need to give out?
I think since it's been a coronavirus time, so I have had the best time in my life, and I can't tell about it, because then you can't have it nice nose swine. It's not where is your empathy? Because I said on Facebook I have a good time, and that was wrong to say because of the corona. So because this has been a kind of, I have had the best time since the cup of coffee. I saw this company. I saw it was made for me, because I love to travel. I saw the way I was planning to do when I should travel. So when I started this, I just wanted to tell people, because I didn't want to get yelled at when I came home from Jamaica, and I'd been there for free. So I'm afraid of not telling every people about it, because I don't have not friends anymore. So I think that's a good way to think. You have to show to people, because you can get punished if you don't tell them. So I think that was the start. I just wanted to tell as many people as possible. So in the first 3 weeks, I think I had 22 direct. And then I suddenly understood, wow, I'm soon the marketing director. So I know I was marketing director before.
You were before you were.
Yeah, it was after 8 days. So I think just because my engagement, my feeling of this was so strong, and I think other people felt the same. When you give action to something, action spreads. So, you know, because you have a kind of a law of attraction. I know a little bit about that. When you are in a mood that people have never seen you before, then you chase other people's moods as a focus. So I think a little bit of getting people out of the usual habit focus into a little bit more of a interesting focus. And I think it's much easier to live a life when you have this kind of thing to do, because I have, as I said, I wake up every morning. I never wake up that kind of energy. I'm known for my energy, but the energy is even more now. So I'm very thankful. I'm thankful to Heidi and Reidar, who showed me this. I want to continue showing it. And I will continue to help people, because that's the last thing I want to say. It's about helping people to a better life. I think that's one of the best things you can do in your life. And I'm 59 years old. I've used a long time to understand that, but now I'm sure it's much better to help people to a better life than sitting and watching the newspaper. So
there you go. Now everybody can say I was on this presentation and there was 59-year-old guy from Norway.
Yeah.
Okay, we have old people, younger people, everybody's welcome, right?
Yeah. I'm celebrating. Thank you.
We love you so much, and you are really awesome, and we know you're going to achieve so much, and you're going to help so many people around the world. So thank you so much, Wayne. Thank you.
Helping people is one of the best things to do here.
Yeah.
That's right. That keeps you happy. Woo! Awesome. Now, Katre, please do come on and share your story. I know Katre is now on here. You know, Katre is going towards the marketing director rank, which is the first passive income rank in the company. But Katre, I just want to say, like, you know, you're an amazing leader. You've done such a great job. But please tell us how you feel about, like, what are you putting into it? Because you also have a regular job, right? Radar doesn't have a regular job. And Svein is kind of famous and going TV shows. And that's not quite the regular job. But you do day-to-day job, 9 to 5. And please tell us how that fits into your life and how you do it.
Yes, as Margit was saying, I'm not far of marketing director rank, being like 4th month in the business. And I've been doing it besides my day job, which is like IT and logistics, something totally different. But I would just add it up what Svein was saying. It's all about helping other people, and it's fun and I love it. And it's all about energy, and it's just, you know, when you work and you feel tired, you just want to do inCruises because it gives you energy, not the other way around. So it's fun and I love it.
Yes, that's brilliant. And I mean, Katre, you are amazing because you always have energy as well. And everybody could see what happens. Like, we come on the screen, we just feed off and bounce off this energy. And I mean, when you build this business, do you feel that it runs you down or it brings you up?
Oh, definitely. It brings me up. Even today, one guy was telling me, Katre, when I first met you, I thought you are not Estonian. And I didn't believe you. And that's why I wanted to have like a second meeting. And we had the second meeting and he joined in. And now I feel, you know, I didn't know him. Somebody else knew him. But it's like, now he's like one of my really good friends. So it's,
that's amazing.
Awesome.
I mean, thank you, Katre. Thank you for always being the sunshine in Estonia for so many people, and also Svein and Radar. And thank you so much for sharing your stories. We have to get on now with the rest of the presentation, but thank you. And hang in there. You never know. Maybe we will bring you on one more time. But I mean, if we just go back to it, I mean, what awesome stories. And it just goes to show it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. Just like we said, everybody has different stories, and the opportunity is here for you to grab. So really, I mean, there are few ways to look at it. I'm going to bring on Michael again a little bit later, but I just want to say, you know, we have 5 reasons why people should join now. I mean, it's very, very simple. We have spoken about the company now a lot. I mean, first of all, we have proven leadership. We have Michael Hutchison. We have Franco Dina, amazing leaders. I mean, there are so many other people working in our corporate offices with so much experience in the cruising industry that, you know, you could never match that, right? So we have field experts in the team, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they have people's best interests at heart. So it's so important today to really have people who show their heart, just like Michael. I'm sure you can put a heart in here, or put me some thumbs up if you feel that Michael and all the other leaders are being really genuine here on the screen, sharing their stories. So definitely that's one of the reasons. But also we got proven industry, you know. Cruising industry is not okay. Ignore the fact that Corona is happening, because that stopped everything. But if you look at it, what's been happening with cruising? I mean, everywhere you look on your phone, in Instagram, in Facebook, it's cruise here, cruise there. We got offers here, everywhere. It's just flooded with offers for cruising. And like Michael said, it's an upcoming trend, right? The numbers are going up by millions of cruises being added to the list every single year, because people are discovering that, hey, I love this. I like to go on a cruise. I would love to be able to do that and bring my family. And now with inCruises model, it's even more affordable. Now, industry facts, I love that. Like we just said, you know, biggest industry in the world, it's travel industry. And this fastest growing segment within travel is cruising. Now, I have to say, I have one guy who I always have admired in my life. His name is Richard Branson. You know, my idol in a way, because I love how simple everything is for him in life, in a sense that he makes simple decisions and figures it out later, right? And that guy has invested his money a long time already into planes and into trains. So there is Virgin Planes, there is Virgin Trains. But this year, he also launched his first cruise line, Virgin Voyage, Scarlet Lady. The ship came out beginning of this year. Now that man is a businessman, and he said he's never invested like really into something that big that would generate you a return. So that's another proof to say, hey, like, you know, if you want to be successful, probably what successful people do. So, many people look at Warren Buffett and check what he's doing. He's buying stocks, all that rest. So if you follow the successful people, then I can say that this is the time. This is the time for cruising. You can help a lot of people make their dreams come reality by partnering up with inCruises and sharing this fantastic membership model with them. So, and the other thing is that the company has been around like almost for 5 years now. And that's where I want to bring in Michael again, because actually that 5-year point, I would like to ask a question from you, Michael, if you are around. So, hey, so actually I wrote that one out, and I have how have the first almost 5 years stacked up in terms of what you hoped and what the reality is? What would you say?
I would just say that we are ecstatic, to say the least. Again, the things that I'm most grateful for are the fact that we're helping thousands of people, at this point in their lives to, put food on the table, provide for their children, pay their bills on time. And I think more than ever, Margit, that's so important. I'm just, so grateful, to receive all the positive praise, that we get from our team, that they say, gosh, you don't know what we would have done, in this situation. And I just say, to my friends and family, myself, is that thank goodness, we have the business model that we have, that we're not dependent on selling individual cruises. And again, it was never intended, to sell individual, cruise bookings for people to get on and leave. It was always a lifestyle. And I'm ecstatic to also share with you that our numbers continue to grow. I mean, we're positive. They're down from where they were, but it's still positive. And people continue to make cruise bookings. I mean, we're up almost 400% for bookings in the next several months.
Wow.
And it just shows the faith that people have in the industry, that people have booked cruises now as far out as November of 2021, Margit. And so, yeah, so that's what's exciting, is just to know that, that you're a part of something that's, built to last. And that's the legacy that we're going to have, is that, people are going to look back at this and say, it was hard. It was messy, but I think it's these times that, people get brought together. And I truly am going to look back at this and say, I grew, and I was proud of who we are and who we became. And I'm so proud of this team. I'm so proud of the people that you've attracted. I get goosebumps thinking about the caliber of people that are on this call, and they're such role models for me. They're such inspirations in terms of possibility and Svein's energy. I'll take that energy any place in the world. And if I could make $1 gazillion just by packaging that energy, and you can't teach that. You just can't teach that, and you can't teach the authenticity of Radar. You can't teach the authenticity of you, Margit, or Katra. And so that's what I'm most appreciative of. And again, what we have is, yes, going through a tough time, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. But if you believe that people are going to go on vacation, then stick with us. It's the same message that I said to those people that were on my team with Tony Robbins when I was 25 years old. And I said, if you leave, I get it. I totally respect what your decision that you make. But if you stick with me, I promise you we'll do good things and we'll see the world. And it's the same promise that I made to my children. Remember, when I started this business, I was in personal pain. The pain that I had was my youngest son was leaving for the university. I said, you're so lucky, Margit, that you have 7-year-old twins right now. And I think back to those times and those vacations that I took my children on when my children were 7 years old are the ones that they love the most. And so that's the experience that I wanted to recreate and pass on to everybody else. But I was in a lot of pain. And the pain of being an empty nester, of my children growing away, is one of the reasons that I wanted to bring good people together. And so, thank you to the blessing of this team, and thank you for enabling, so many people, to do what we're doing. It's truly a gift. Thank you. Thank
you, Michael. I mean, amazing. I mean, you're the reason, everybody at the corporate office, why we are here today. I mean, it's amazing work that you guys have put together, and you have stuck with it, and you have seen a way. But now you said, Michael, I can be as direct as I want. And then a lot of people are thinking like, what could really ruin inCruises? What is this one thing that could really take us out? What do you see is the biggest risk that inCruises business could have in today's world?
Well, I think you answer that question by saying the following, that when people ask you, are my cruise dollars safe? That's really what they want to know. Is my money safe? You have to answer with an enthusiastic, extraordinary yes. You have to have that conviction that I have. And you have to say, as long as. And so again, you have to be transparent, because that's what makes us special. So when people say, is my money safe? You say, absolutely, as long as the relationships that we have with our providers are intact. Now, the good news is that the top 3 biggest cruise lines in the world just received injections of cash of billions of dollars, billions in the B, billions of dollars that will enable them to be liquid, meaning that they have cash on hand in the bank. So in the unlikely event that they do not receive a customer in the next 12 to 18 months, that they can still withstand. That's the biggest risk that we have, is that if those relationships, those providers were to go out of business, because that's our business. I'll also tell you that, having said that, we're doing other things. We're building our own blockchain technology. We're focused in this cruise travel space, but we're also doing things to insulate all of us further, and that'll be a separate call.
That's right. Yeah.
But I think so. So as long as, again, those relationship providers are intact. I also talked about the TMT, the consumer protection, the peace of mind that you have in the likely event that we inCruises were to go out of business. As long as that payment is processed by Trust My Travel, and it's on a recurring membership payment, then you have that peace of mind that in a likely event we go out of business, your money would be refunded. So again, answer emphatically yes, but be sincere and say, as long as those relationships are intact. And again, it's also important that as long as we continue to solve a problem, as long as we add value to people and we attract, as you have done, as Radar and Svein and Katra have done, you've attracted good, honest people. That's the key. As long as we continue down that road, then that we're built to last. There's no reason that the business shouldn't be a business forever. As long as we add value, solve a problem, and attract good, honest people. That's the key.
Excellent. Thank you so much for answering that, because it's important. It's important to know, and I know many people ask that. But, moving on from the third fact, why it's the right time to join. I mean, also, we talked about how cool our 2-for-1 cruise dollars are, but 100% of the customers have actually made a saving who have booked a cruise within inCruises, right? So that really has an amazing impact around the world. If you can save money on the even best price, like Svein said, if I could have saved every time I went somewhere, in hindsight, he thought about it, but here people are making that the reality with every single booking. And also we have, a proven concept, because this is actually an old slide. I do apologize. We have 12 of them now, isn't it? Because there were 4 more people who joined the rank of board of directors, which is the highest rank within the company. And yes, so it's basically something that absolutely can be achieved if you put a lot of effort into it. And I mean, Michael, would you say here that these people, them better than anybody else? Were they part of inCruises like when you launched, or are there some who are like newcomers? And how long have people been part of the inCruises who have reached that top rank in the company?
Well, all of them became, the highest position within the company within the first 4 years. But no, none of them. We knew none of them before we started. And so I think that tells the audience that we're creating a level playing field, that you can earn good money, good dependable money, without having a background in this business. Again, just to talk about some of these people. Santiago, I do want to just, highlight some of these. So Santiago he had a radio repair business on the island of Puerto Rico. Olga Ra was a stage actress. Sultana was an HR manager in a construction company. Yulia was a materials engineer. Paul Yu worked for Alibaba of Japan. And so none of them had any special advantages. Outside of Santiago, no leader had a profitable business that was enabling to earn more than $10,000 per month. They've worked incredibly hard. They put a lot of time and energy into it. But I'm proud to tell you that not one of them was paid a dime to join our team, and that will not change. And again, none of them had any special advantages, but they've worked incredibly hard. And you're right, we actually have 12 leaders, but they're just like you and I. And I have every reason to believe that we will continue to build even stronger leaders in the future. Look, I think there's an important message for people to hear. We have not had any downturn in our business in terms of layoffs. We have continued to pay out bonuses 100%. We've not asked a single person on our team to take less pay. Again, I talked about my role models, my inspirations, the Airbnbs, the Ubers of the world that unfortunately have had to downsize their teams. And so I'm convicted that when we get through this, that we are going to be bigger, better, and stronger than where we were going into that, because we will have had that reference point of dealing with the adversity. And I think we're going to bring our team stronger together. And so that's my promise to you. I can't promise you that you'll make a lot of money with us. I simply can't. I can't, Margit. I wish it. I wish it upon everybody on this call. But what I can promise you is that you will not spend a lot of money to earn that money with us. Every dollar that you put into your membership creates value. And so while it takes money to make money in business, you will not have to spend a lot of money compared to other companies where you pay for training and resources. And again, we do everything that we can to make that turnkey for you. And while I wish and pray that everybody on this call will make a lot of money, what I can promise you is to have the lifestyle of people that do earn a lot of money.
Thank you. That's so valuable, again, to share that about our leaders. And you can see, like, really, you can start at any given time. And if you have the tenacity, and you're just going to stick with it, and you're going to see the results, then this is possible for you also. So I just have to say, it's very, very simple to join and share inCruises. So like I said, like, this is unusual presentation that we do, because we do more like an interview style, because we want to get everything out of Michael. I mean, he's not here with us every presentation that we do. So, we normally just show this concept to people, give a little bit of insight, but Michael has given us so much valuable information today. So I just have to say that if somebody today would decide, hey, I want to join as a member, it's very simple. You just pay $100 into your cruise account. Immediately, you will get $200 cruise dollars that you can use for your cruise bookings, and you can collect those cruise dollars for as long as you want, because they never expire. And all of your recurring payments, they are insured, and also any cruise bookings that you would do for the future, if you booked it through inCruises with cruise dollars, they are also covered by TMT. So if somebody then says, hey, I would maybe consider becoming a partner because I like what you talked about, earning an extra income or going on cruising for free. So for $195, you can activate your business partner platform, and you get all sorts of fun tools that I'm going to show you in a minute. But Michael, because I have you here, I would just like to say, if you were sitting across from someone looking at our business today, what would you want them to know, and what would be the 2 pieces of advice you'd give them to support them in succeeding with inCruises?
Well, I think in light of the situation, you have to ask the question again, what's the ultimate risk? Is our providers not coming back? I think, again, and I'm not that personality that wants to think negatively, but I think it's prudent and it's practical to ask that question. What if it takes longer? The cruise lines have announced that they'll be back in the fall, but what if it does take longer? You have to be able to live with that decision. And again, you have to believe that people will go on vacation. People will take a luxury cruise vacation. But I think, again, you have to have that sense of reality more than anything else. But I would just say, just keep believing in yourself, keep believing in your upline sponsor, keep believing in leaders like you, keep believing in us. And when you do so, you will continue to grow and want to get better. And again, just remind yourself that, this journey is like, I wrote in my book, SOS, about getting on a bicycle. And when you get on a bicycle for the first time, you start to ride, it's hard. And as you start to, traverse up a hill, you've got to figure out different ways to get up that hill. You may have to stand up, you have to go to a lower gear, but it's going to get harder as you go up that hill. But then when you get to the top and then you visualize what it's going to look like on the other side, that's what's attractive. That's what gets you through to the other side. And that's where we're trying to take people, is to the top of the hill and further beyond. And when you get to that place, the momentum kicks in and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous in the end. So just go into the relationships with people, Margit, with the conviction that you're going to strengthen the relationship. That's what I love and admire about you and your team. You can see it. You can see it in your eyes. You can feel it in your hearts. And I think so many people lead with cash. Don't lead with cash. Lead with, are we a match? Lead with, can we solve a problem? Don't lead with something that's cheesy, right? Like, now you're unemployed and, look, if you were doing what I'm doing, you make people feel bad. No, don't do that. Be authentic. Be real. Be upfront with people. Go in with the conviction that you can add value and solve a problem. And that's what I would say. Go in with the conviction that I know that you do on a daily basis, that you can strengthen the relationship, and then everything else works for itself. When you focus on quality value and quality presentations, get in front of quality people, the money and everything takes care of itself. So that's my recommendation.
Right. Thank you so much. I mean, see, it doesn't sound that hard, right? When Michael is talking about it, that's what you need. And you just, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step, right? So that's where we start. That's where we start off. But I have to just say that as a partner, also, you get amazing support as, to launch your business. Normally, when you go into business, you need to find all the tools yourself. You need to start paying for services that you need to have. But here, for the $195, you actually get amazing back office that the company has developed, and you get all sorts of different options. You can do your online marketing with email marketing systems. You can have Facebook marketing tools. You have mobile app that links every time somebody joins your team. You have downloadable business cards. You have marketing materials. They are in 14 different languages already. This website is in 14 different languages. So if you have somebody in another country that doesn't speak your language, but we have it on the platform, you can actually send them an interactive video to ask them what they think about this club, what they think about the membership club, what they think about the business opportunity, and you can share it with them. And like Michael said, they're making a lot of investment to actually add more languages as our membership base grows worldwide. So if you are ready and you say, hey, I actually like both. I want to start as a member. I want to get value out of membership, and I also want to become a partner. You pay $295 to get started. Immediately for that, you will have $200 cruise dollars on the account, and you get access to all the partner tools that we talked about. And now if you just think that, hey, I'm a partner member, so what do I actually get? If you refer 5 members, so people who not going to refer any other people here, they just say, hey, we want to be happy members. We want to just, save money. You will become membership free because you refer 5 members, but also you will earn $100 in member instant pay bonuses. Now, if you refer 5 partner members, so those are the people who actually help you to expand the membership base all around the globe, right? You would, of course, become membership free. So that gives you $2,400 value for cruising for free every single year. But you also earn back $350 in instant pay bonuses. Now, that means you paid in $295 to get started. There is no time limit how long you can take to make, 5 people to become partner members or members. There is no time limit. You can do it in a day, in a month, in a year. There is no time limit. But if you do it quick, you can actually see that you have the opportunity to very quickly have a return on your investment. Now, I just have to say, we talked about it a lot throughout the presentation again, but the cool thing about inCruises is that in this day and age, when people are worried about everything, I mean, we have insurance on our health. We have insurance on our cars. We have insurance on our, lives and valuables. Why? Not because we think, oh, the worst is going to happen, but it's just in case something bad will happen. Just like Michael said, inCruises is standing strong. We are a strong company. We are, cash flow positive. We don't have any loans. So we are a strong company. But for the peace of mind of our members, we say, hey, your recurring payments that you make onto your cruise account are insured by Trust My Travel. And same thing with any qualifying travel payments. So this is a nice addition to have. And also we want to say, hey, just like sometimes if people say, hey, I would like to take action and I would like to get started, but then if people change their mind, I cannot see why you should. but we just have to legally tell you that you have this option to say, hey, have 14-day money back guarantee. But I haven't seen one who has gone for that option. So I just have to show the disclaimers at the end here as well. And Michael, I think I would love for you to come back now for a second as well. And let's close this call together, because you have been fantastic, here with us. And I just want to say, Michael, just what would you say as a final message to everybody who's here and everybody who's facing this challenging times within inCruises, or maybe somebody hasn't joined yet? What is your encouragement to them for the future?
Well, first of all, thank you to you, Margit. I, again, have such immense respect and appreciation for who you are and the values that you represent to our team. You are an inspiration to me and to lots of people, and you're just getting started. You're just scratching the surface of who you are and the impact that you're going to have. And so I'm grateful to have this opportunity to be on this journey with you and Radar and Svein and Katra and Abel and the entire team of inCruisers. I can't be more grateful for this time that we have together. Again, I've had amazing peaks in my life and I've had amazing valleys, and I've appreciated both of them. And I'll just say the following. And that is that if you've ever attempted to start a business before, it's hard. I've done it. It's the hardest thing that I've ever done. And if you did not succeed, just know that you didn't do it with me. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that you didn't do it with me. So give us a shot. Give us an opportunity. Take a serious look at this business. Get back to the person that invited you. And I don't have any regrets in my life. I actually have a couple. Let me just say that. I do have a couple of regrets. Those are times in my life when I didn't step up. I didn't, put the fear behind me. And my only wish of encouragement is that when that fear comes knocking on your door, let faith open that door. Let faith know that we can handle it, that we were built for adversity, and that we'll get through this together. And I wish everybody on the call continued blessings. And I send you my love and encouragement, and look forward to getting back on board with you guys, and look forward to meeting you soon. And I was so fortunate to give Ryder such a big bear hug when we were together in Vegas. And I'll defy, distancing when we see each other. I'll give him a big hug, and I'll get in trouble with the social distancing police, but that's okay. And I just say thank you for your trust. Thank you for your inspiration. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Stay strong. We're in this for the long term, and we're going to come out bigger and better than we ever were before. So keep the faith. And again, bring me your fears. Bring me your doubts. Bring me your insecurities, because I'll back it up with results. That's the last thing that I'll say.
That's great, Michael. I've enjoyed it so much. Thank you for the challenge and questioning you. So I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for all the leadership and all you do for us. So it's been awesome to have everybody here. And thank you so much, everybody, for hanging in there. So, like I said, it's very, very different kind of presentation, but I think we have said everything that there is to be said. And I just hope that everybody feels that this is the time, this is the right place and right time. But I just got to say, to add it, if you don't take the right step being in this position, then nothing in your life will change. So I thank you for the time, and thank you for all the brilliant comments. So I will say goodbye for today, because we've been here for 1 hour and 47 minutes. That's the new company record for a presentation, I bet. But thank you for staying with us. So God bless, and have a fantastic evening, morning, day, wherever you are. Bye-bye.